Let me ask you something. How bad do you want it? No, for real. Not just when it's easy. Not just when it feels good. How bad do you want it when you're tired, when you're broke, when nobody's clapping for you? Because let me tell you right now, the difference between the ones who make it and the ones who don't ain't talent. It ain't luck. It's hunger. See, the reason most people fail is not because they weren't capable. It's because they got comfortable. They started eating good, sleeping in, taking it easy. They lost that hunger. And when you lose that hunger, somebody else who wants it more than you will take everything you worked for. So I need you to hear me. Stay hungry, not just today, not just this week, but every single day of your life. Because the moment you stop being hungry, you start losing. And by the time I finish this speech, you're either going to walk out of here fired up, ready to go to war for your dreams, or you're going to keep playing it safe. But one thing's for sure, if you stay in this room, you won't leave the same. Let's go. One, hunger is the difference between success and failure. There are two types of people in this world, the ones who wake up every morning with fire in their eyes and the ones who hit snooze. The ones who fight for their dreams and the ones who settle. You know what separates them? Hunger. Hunger makes you wake up before the alarm. Hunger makes you put in the extra work when no one is watching. Hunger makes you chase your dream like your life depends on it. Because it does. The question is, are you hungry enough? Two-book conference, The Enemy of Greatness. You ever wonder why people lose once they reach the top? It's because they stop feeling that pressure, that fire, that struggle. They get comfortable. The moment you think you've made it, the moment you start coasting, that's when the downfall begins. You got to treat every day like you're still that hungry underdog fighting for a shot. Stay uncomfortable, stay dangerous, stay hungry. 3, your hunger must be greater than your obstacles. You're going to face pain. You're going to face setbacks. You're going to hear no 1,000 times. But listen to me. If your hunger is stronger than your struggle, you'll survive. If not, you quit. You got to be so hungry that no matter what life throws at you, you keep moving forward. No food, no sleep, no help. So what? Keep going. 4, success is rented and hunger is the payment. Success ain't owned, it's rented. And the rent is due every single day. You don't get to eat off yesterday's work. You don't get to celebrate last year's win. If you're not hungry today, you're already behind. 5, the moment you stop being hungry, you start lousing. Ask any champion, any legend. They'll tell you, the moment you feel like you've done enough, that's when somebody else comes to take your spot. You got to wake up every day like you got everything to prove. 6, discipline feeds your hunger when motivation fades. Motivation is cool, but let's be real. It don't last. You won't always wake up fired up. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is waking up at 4 a.m. even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is putting in work when nobody's watching. Discipline keeps your hunger alive when motivation is gone. 7, your why must be stronger than your excuses. When things get tough, you got 2 choices. Fight or fold. And what decides which one you pick? Your why. If your why is weak, you'll quit the first time things get hard. But if your why is strong, nothing can stop you. What's your why? Stay hungry, even when you win. Too many people get a taste of success and then get lazy. They slow down. They start living off past victories, and then they lose. You stay hungry like you ain't never won a day in your life, like you still fighting for your first shot. 9, hunger fuels resilience. Without it, what? You quit. Life is going to hit you hard. The question is, will you get back up? See, hunger ain't just about wanting it, it's about being willing to fight for it. Hunger is what makes you get back up after every failure. Hunger is what makes you push through pain. Without it, you won't last. 10. If you're not hungry, someone else and they will take your spot. Right now, there's somebody out there training harder than you, waking up earlier than you, working while you're resting. And if you're not careful, they're going to take everything you worked for. So what's it going to be? You going to sit back and watch? Or are you going to get up, get focused, and stay hungry? Because let me tell you something, this world don't care what you say you want. It only gives results to the ones who are hungry enough to take them. Stay hungry. Let's get it. There are two types of people in this world. The ones who wake up every morning with fire in their eyes and the ones who hit snooze. The ones who fight for their dreams and the ones who settle. You know what separates them? Hunger. Talent won't save you when things get hard. Luck won't keep you going when you feel like giving up. Hunger is the only thing that will pull you out of the lowest moments and push you to keep grinding. I've seen people with all the talent in the world fall off because they lost their hunger. I've seen people who had every opportunity handed to them throw it all away because they got comfortable. And I've also seen people with no resources, no connections, no advantages, people who should have failed rise to the top simply because they refused to stop. So the question is, how hungry are you? Do you want it bad enough to sacrifice? Bad enough to work when everybody else is sleeping? Bad enough to show up every single day, even when you don't feel like it? Because if you don't, somebody else does. And they're coming for everything you thought you deserved. The difference between the ones who make it and the ones who don't isn't some magic formula. It's not about where you started. It's not about how talented you are. It's about how bad you want it. Hunger is what separates winners from spectators. It's the fuel behind every champion, every success story, every person who refused to let their circumstances define them. If you're not hungry, you're already losing. But if you stay hungry, if you wake up every day like you got something to prove, like you're still that underdog fighting for a shot, there's nothing that can stop you. Comfort is a trap. It feels good. It feels safe. But let me tell you something. Comfort is the reason most people fail. See, when you're struggling, when you're fighting for a way out, you're hungry. You're willing to do whatever it takes. You wake up early, you stay up late, you grind because you have no other choice. But the moment you get a little success, the moment things start feeling easy, that's when most people slow down. They start sleeping in. They stop pushing as hard. They start celebrating instead of grinding. And that's when they lose. Look around. How many people do you know who had potential but never lived up to it? How many people do you know who started strong but fell off? It's not because they weren't talented. It's not because they weren't capable. It's because they got comfortable. You have to train yourself to stay hungry even when things are going well. You have to act like you're still broke, like you're still fighting for a shot, like you have everything to lose. Because the moment you relax, the moment you let comfort creep in, someone else Champions don't get comfortable. They win, and then they act like they've won nothing. They stay in the gym. They keep studying. They keep grinding like they still that underdog. That's the mindset you need. See, a lot of people say they want success. They say they want to be great. But the second things get hard, they quit. The second they hit resistance, they fold. Not because they weren't capable, not because they weren't talented, but because their hunger wasn't stronger than their struggle. But if you're truly hungry, if you're so locked in on your dream that nothing can shake you, then no obstacle, no setback, no failure will be able to stop you. The people who win in life aren't the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who refused to quit, the ones who fought through the pain, the ones who looked their obstacles in the face and said, I don't care how hard it gets, I will not stop. That's the mindset you need, because life isn't fair. It's going to challenge you. But the question is your hunger bigger than your struggle? If the answer is yes, then there's nothing in this world that can stop you. Success isn't something you own, it's something you rent. And let me tell you right now, the rent is due every single day. You don't get to wake up one morning and say, I made it. You don't get to put in the work for a few months, see a little progress, and then take your foot off the gas. No, that's how people lose. That's how people fall off. See, the problem is most people work hard to get to the top, but once they get there, they stop doing the things that got them there in the first place. They stop waking up early. They stop putting in extra reps. They stop studying, training, grinding. And the moment they do that, they start losing. You have to treat success like it can be taken from you at any moment, because it can. The world doesn't care what you did yesterday. The world doesn't care about your last win. The only thing that matters is what you're doing today. You wake up every morning and pay your dues. You show up every day and put in the work. Because if you're not willing to pay that rent, someone else will. Someone else will outwork you, out-hustle you, outlast you. So ask yourself, are you paying your rent today? Or are you sitting back, getting comfortable, thinking you've made it? Because if you're not putting in the work every single day, you're already falling behind. Success is rented, hunger is the payment, and the rent is due today. The moment you stop being hungry, you start losing. It doesn't matter how much success you've had, how talented you are, or how many wins you've stacked up. If you lose that fire, if you stop grinding like you're still trying to make it, it's only a matter of time before you fall off. Look at history. Look at sports. Look at business. The greats don't fall off because they lose skill. They fall off because they lose hunger. They get comfortable. They start living off past success instead of chasing new levels. And while they're celebrating, someone younger, someone hungrier is putting in the work. That's why you have to wake up every day like you're still the underdog, like you've got something to prove. Because the second you feel like you've arrived, you've already started losing. You can't afford to relax. You can't afford to coast. You have to stay in attack mode. Every single day, you have to move like you're still trying to earn your spot, because you are. So let me ask you, are you still hungry? Or have you started slowing down? Have you started playing it safe? Have you started holding on to past victories instead of creating new ones? Because if you have, wake up, snap out of it, get back in the fight. Because the truth is, the ones who win are the ones who stay hungry. The moment you stop, you've already lost.